This week on Full Circle Florida, pain and progress in paradise. Hurricane Ian, 1 year later. I went down to Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel Island to tell the stories of the folks who have struggled to pick up the pieces. What is now standing in their way and the long road back. What they told me. And politics and race, the boundaries of your vote up for debate. The new congressional maps at the center of a legal fight from Alabama to Florida. And now the U.S. Supreme Court is weighing in. Did Governor DeSantis cross the legal line when he eliminated a predominantly black district? Our Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders is here with the fast-moving developments from Tallahassee. Welcome to Full Circle Florida. Race has always played a role in American politics since slavery, since the very founding of this nation. The question of who gets a say in how things are done has been a constant, if not uncomfortable, negotiation. And nowhere is that bargain for power more bluntly stated than on the map of congressional districts, where the boundaries literally determine whose vote matters more. And this week, Florida's new congressional map was challenged in federal court, a map drawn by Governor Ron DeSantis himself, a map that eliminates a black-dominated congressional district, a map that would very likely alter the balance of power in the United States Congress. Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders with what came out in federal court this week and what's really at stake.
The simmering legal challenge to Florida's new congressional districts now full boil.
Today's a good day.
Exactly.
Rain is good luck.
Plaintiffs, Common Cause, the NAACP, and others getting their first day in federal court Tuesday, claiming the 2022 redraw was, quote, intentional racial discrimination that diminished black voting power in Florida and violated the U.S. 14th and 15th Amendments.
I think that we're excited because we believe that federal courts are going to do the right thing and strike down this discriminatory voting map.
Their legal argument hinges on former Congressman Al Lawson's old district, CD5. Black voters there said to have had a better shot at electing lawmakers of their choosing. That is until last year, when Governor Ron DeSantis chopped up the area into 4 smaller districts, rejecting 2 options from the legislature. The reliably blue territory then elected 4 white Republicans during the 2022 midterms.
But the reality is that the other alternatives that the legislature put forward, which had compact districts, which protected African American voters as well, he said that he was going to veto them. He said it was dead on arrival.
Attorneys for the state argue everything was legal, backed by the GOP-controlled legislature eventually, and said the governor was seeking fairness in North Florida. DeSantis defended the move in April of last year.
We are not going to have a 200-mile gerrymander that divvies up people based on the color of their skin. That is wrong. That is not the way we've governed in the state of Florida.
The governor's office declined to weigh in further on Tuesday, saying instead, quote, our comments will be contained within our legal filings.
Good morning. Good morning.
Meanwhile, DeSantis' acting chief of staff, Alex Kelly, was on the stand for day one. He drafted the governor's map, telling the court DeSantis had a, quote, constitutional objection to the old district and that race wasn't a factor. A 3-judge panel will eventually determine if the current map stands. Their decision, however, could likely get appealed and may end up before the U.S. Supreme Court for a final decision.
And Forrest is joining us now from Tallahassee. Forrest, the governor's attorneys are trying to sell the judges on this idea that the governor's maps had nothing to do with race. But the governor himself seemed to acknowledge in your story there that race, at least in part, is at the center of this debate. So how are the state's attorneys trying to frame this, that this is not, at least in some part, racially motivated?
Yeah, I think you're getting to the heart of the issue for plaintiffs. I mean, what they're saying is, how does the governor square some of his comments with what he did, his actions? What we've heard from the attorneys in opening statements, as well as some of the testimony that we've heard from the governor's office already, is that they saw this as a constitutional issue. I mean, if you look at the old CD5, right, it stretched from Tallahassee all the way to Jacksonville. It was 200 miles long, and it had 2 major metros inside of it, with sort of a no man's land of rural Florida in between. And so their argument was, if you look at those lines, how can you not see that as a unconstitutional gerrymander? Yes, it did have sort of a black voting district within it that helped support minority voters, but if it's if it's drawn in an unconstitutional way based on race, how is that fair? And so that's sort of the argument they've made. We heard from Alex Kelly, the guy who actually drafted the maps. What he said on the stand was that race was never a motivator for the governor's actions. It was instead just trying to dismantle what they saw as an unconstitutional district.
All right, I got about 10 seconds left. When we talk about gerrymandering, both parties do that, not just in Florida, but all over the country, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this is a strategy that Republicans and Democrats both use. They may not want to acknowledge it openly, but that's all part of the process, is how do you frame the map the best way possible to benefit your party? And the governor's obviously been accused of that, but Democrats have been accused of it too. And so what you really have to do is have a good checks and balances system to look over the shoulder of the legislators and make sure that they're being as fair as possible.
Yeah, elections have consequences. That's why we have checks and balances, though. Forrest, thank you for your insight. Appreciate it, sir. Okay, let's expand the conversation now as we bring in our political analyst, Dr. Susan MacManus. Thank you for being here, by the way. Appreciate it. You know, when it comes to congressional maps in a state like Florida with a history that includes voter discrimination, which is why these maps were drawn a certain way to begin with, how much of these congressional boundaries that determine the balance of power in Congress are designed by pure politics, and how much of it should be intended to protect the voting integrity of people who have not always gotten a fair shake in this state?
It's a very complex issue, obviously, and legislators under the Constitution are charged with drawing up the maps. And obviously they're elected from different kinds of districts, Republican leaning, Republican strong, same for Democrats. So you get that kind of partisan edge to it to begin with. But one of the difficulties this last time was we had one more seat. So instead of drawing 27 districts, they had to draw 28. And actually we have 4 of the districts that have elected black members of Congress. The one district that's in question was one that did previously elect a black member of Congress, but they split that district into 4. So the focal point is on that particular thing. And it will be interesting to see what happens, because we have both a state and a federal case against the way that that was drawn. But obviously, one of the key things that you can't do is, you can't deny racial groups the equal right to elect a candidate of their choice. That's under the Federal Voting Rights Act.
You see what's happening in Alabama. The Supreme Court weighed in on that. Do you think that that will be applied to Florida? Could that impact what happens here?
I believe so. I would be surprised if the current map is sustained in Florida because of the ruling by the Supreme Court.
They set a precedent and usually apply it to all 50 states. Dr. MacManus, hang with us. We're going to talk about a lot more coming up. Next year on Full Circle Florida, a revealing read on what the American people really think about Bidenomics. Rick Klein joining us next.